Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vitvaram Antaryascha Bahirvidodatimiram Jyotirmayam Shashvatam Sthanam Prapya Virajate Vinamatam Ajnanamunmulayan Pashyan Vishwamapidamullasatiyo Vishwasya Pare Paraha Tasmai Sri Ramanaya Loka Gurave Shokasya Hantre Namaha. We are seeing this 7th verse here. Yat panchakoshatmakamasti deham tadantara kim bhuvanam chakasti deham vina panchavidam tadedat pashyanti keva bhuvanam banantu. In the teaching, Vedantic teaching, the world is considered not as a problem or cause of bondage. If the world is considered as the cause of the bondage, then we have to work with the world, not with ourselves. The entire Vedantic tradition talks about Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya, and not anything to do with correcting the situations outside or in the world. And at the same time, since we are continuously interacting with the world, how to behave with the world, how to relate with the world must be understood. Because as Gurudev would say, fire is hot. Can you change that nature of the fire? No. But how you behave or relate with the fire, that is up to you. You cannot sit and worry about why fire is hot or why water is cold and why sun is setting and why sun is coming up every day, why there is wind, why there is air, why there are seasons, why there is summer and winter. That is not Atma-jnana. Self-knowledge is essentially how to deal with what is already there and how to free ourselves from the influences caused by all that around us. Freedom cannot be given to us by somebody else. It has to be claimed by us ourselves. Therefore, what is this world? Yat panchakoshatmakamasti deham. Yat deham, this body, panchakoshatmakam, of the 5 layers, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, Kosha Atmakam. Food sheath, vital air sheath, mental sheath, intellectual sheath, and bliss sheath. These are explained to us to understand what we presently are identified with. Where are we right now? At any given point of time, we are identified with one of them, or more than one or more. When you are actively working in this world, you are identified with your physical body. You are also breathing. You are also thinking. You are also calculating. And all for your joy. So all the 5 are involved. When you are sleeping, you are not walking or talking or eating. So Annamaya Kosha is discarded. Breathing is also going on without your choice. So that is also not worried about. You are not worried about. Mind and its feelings and emotions are set aside. You are not calculating or planning. That is also set aside. But identified with the Anandamaya Kosha. So one or the other, one or more, we are identified with. Now, when we say I'm seeing the world, can you see the world without any identification with any one of them? Tadantara, dehamantara, bhuvanam kim chakasti, drishyate. Is the world seen without identifying with any one of them? Deham vina panchavidam tadedat. These 5-fold experiences that are there, 5-fold experiences from Annamaya, Pranamaya, Ityadi. Is there any world experienced by you ever? Vina etat bhuvanam pashyanti. Keva. Bhavanam bhuvanam ke. What is this world then? Pashyanti va? Is this seen? Who at all? Ke pashyati. Ke means here plural. So ke pashyanti. Who are those who are seeing this? Without this 5-fold sheath. Banantu, let them say. Now, interesting thing is, we have never experienced a moment, even a moment, without one of them. As I said, we are constantly identified with one or the other. Sharira bhuvanayoho vyashti samashtayoho amshi bhavat amshasya amshaya dhinatvat sharire bhuvana adhine sati sharirabhaddasya vishayinah shariratma abhimanavataha sharirabandhamantara vishayitvam na siddhyati. All of us are included in the category, or being constantly bound by the experiences that are born out of strong identification with one of these 5. Asadi sharira bande vishayatvasya asiddhehe kasya gocharaha syad bhuvanakara vishayaha. How is this world perceived without that? Now you see, Vedanta tries to bring the problem closer to ourselves. It does not say the world is the cause of all problems. Even as Bhagavan Sri Krishna was talking to Arjuna, even Arjuna listed out the problems with the world. Bhagavan quietly, smilingly listened to the whole thing. On the other day, somebody came to me and told me, Swamiji, Krishna is not a good CEO. He's not a good manager. I said, why do you say that? See, first chapter fully Arjuna talked. Second chapter, first 10 verses he talked. Then afterwards, only 1 or 2 places he has been talking. Most of the time, it is Krishna who spoke out of the 700 verses. If you take the first chapter and some of the here and there, probably around 50, maximum 50 verses probably Arjuna would have spoken. Rest of the whole thing was spoken by Krishna. And a CEO must be a listener, not a talker. So he is not a good CEO. I said, my dear sir, why do you think Krishna has to be a CEO? Who told you that he is a CEO? Nobody told you. You are only telling me. He is a teacher. Krishna is a teacher, and teacher has to talk. Without he imparting the knowledge through talking, how a disciple will ever understand a thing? You mean to say, as a guru, he is keep listening to the disciple, not say a word? ये क्या बात है? So do not take the Gita and then show it as a management document and saying that, oh, he's not a good CEO. Swamiji, I'm very sorry. I've been telling this to people. Stop that. Because as a teacher, he needs to point out to the student what is his problem. And very clear, the problem is what? He thinks the problem is outside. Somewhere in the world. वो नहीं है. It is not true. Problem starts from you. You may not like it, but that's what the truth is. We always try to put the problem away with somebody else. And we never would accept that the problem starts from us. So here, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, without you identifying with this one of the 5 Panchakoshas, can there be an experience of the world? So what is the world then? Where is its origin? What do you think is the experience of the world? So the next verse, he continues on the same thought process, verse number 8. Shabdadirupam bhuvanam samastam Shabdadi sattendriya vritti bhasya Sattendriyanam manaso vashe syat Manomayam tat bhuvanam vadamaha Shabdadirupam bhuvanam samastam Shabdadi sattendriya vritti bhasya Sattendriyanam manaso vashe syat Manomayam tat bhuvanam vadamaha. What is bhuvanam? World. Shabdadirupam samastam. Samastam bhuvanam Shabda adi rupam. Idam sarvam means Jagat. Shabdadi Rupam, Shabdadaya, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandhaha Rupam. 5 experiences alone we have about the world. Either it is a sound, or a touch, or a form, taste, or smell. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandhaha Rupam, Swarupam, Yasya Tat. Now, you see, even the so-called emotional experiences that we have about the world also are connected to one of these 5. If you are hearing somebody saying harsh words because of which you are upset, unpleasant experience it was, because the sound only has made you unhappy. Or you are seeing a beautiful landscape because of which your heart is delighted. Seeing is what has happened. Even the so-called emotion of love, anger, passion, greed, lust, all these are also born out of some form of the sense input that has come to you. I just remember that pleasant face of my girlfriend. You feel the love for her or joy because of sight, or her sweet words before marriage. Sweet words. Some way or the other, the 5 inputs are coming. And understand, all these 5 also vritti rupena anubhavati. All are experienced only as thoughts. Asmadadibihi grihyamanasya jagatah shabdadiguna samudaya eva swarupam bhavati ityartha. All of them are none other than one form or the other sense input alone. Shabdadi satta, sabdadinam gunanam satta stitihi indriya vritti vasya. All of those experiences, whether it is a sound or touch or taste or smell or sight, are all illumined by your own senses only. If the one particular sense organ is absent, to that extent your world is absent. If all the 5 sense organs are shut down, world is not there. No world. When there is world. So the sense organs together, they become a gang. They become a singing group, and they are singing. You know the word? We are the world. The 5 sense organs group. Indriya gang. We are the world. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. So, therefore, here, who or what is making the world possible for us? Without the senses, can there be world? Shrotrādindriyanam vrittibihi vyaparaihi vasyaha prakashyaha bhavati. If the eyes are not there, sight is not known, form is not known, color is not known, how short, how tall, how deep, how big. Nothing can be known by that if eyes are not there. So each of the sense organs are illuminating the world. Shabdadi gunan pradi shrotrādīnām bāsakatva uktehe tesham grahanasya indriya adīnatvam uktam. Therefore, the world of objects are depending upon the senses for their existence to be experienced. As much as if I do not have an interest in a particular, or if, as I said, that if I do not have a particular sense organ does not function, to that extent that particular set of objects are absent to me. So the sense objects are depending upon the sense organs for them to be known. Now you see, indriyanam shrotraadinam satta sadbhavaha manasaha vashaha syat. If mind is not there, sense organs cannot do their activity. This is what simply Bhagavan and Krishna has put. What called? Indriyani paranyahuhu indriyebhya param manah. Sense organs the sense objects are depending upon the sense organs. Sense organs are depending upon the mind. Mind means what? Vritti. If associated thought is not there, if I do not have the intent to look at an object, the object is not perceived by my eyes. Sometimes it so happens you are preoccupied, you are thinking or worrying about something. Your friend is right in front of you, you don't notice. Hey, I'm here. How are you? Why? What happened? Eyes are open. Thought is not recognizing the presence of the person even though the eyes are open, because eyes are not functioning when the mind is not intent to see. Similarly, smelling, hearing, tasting, smelling, all are because of the mind. So now objects are depending upon the senses, senses are depending upon the mind. So world is depending upon the senses, senses are depending upon the mind. Manasaha vashaha syad. Indriyanam api manaha adinatvam uktvam. Adinatvam, dependence. Shabdadi rupam bhuvanam samastam shabdadi satyendriya vritti bhasyaha satyendriyanam manaso vasho vashe syat. Manasaha vashe, at the control of the mind. So mano nigrahena indriya nigrahanam sambhavati. Indriya nigrahena jagataha nigrahanam sambhavati. The world is renounced when sense organs are controlled, and sense organs are controlled when the mind is controlled. Simple. When we are not having enough control over the mind, we are afraid of the world. When somebody brings a very, very, very tasty sweet right in front of you and puts it there on the table, on the plate, don't keep it there. Please take it away. I do not know, because if you do not, I will definitely eat it. Even though I am a sugar patient, I just cannot help it. Now, tell me, is it that sweet is responsible for your behavior? Is that responsible for your behavior? Your inability to control your mind, thereby your inability to control your tongue or hand, therefore your inability to control the world outside. Vairagya, dispassion, is not by getting rid of world. Bhagavan Krishna says, abhyasenat kaunteya vairagyena chagrihyate. Kya abhyas karna hai? What is the abhyas here? Mano nigrahanam abhyasa. Mind able to control, able to have the mastery over the mind is called vairagya. Really. So, manasaha vashe syad indriyanam api manohadinatvam muktam. Tad tasmat bhuvanasya shabdadiguna samudaya rupatvat shabdadigunanam api indriya nignatvat indriyanam api manomulatvat hetoho bhuvanam jagat uddeshya manomayam videyam manaso vikaram vadamaha. So, in other words, what is the word? Mana eva jagat. See how he brings that logical conclusion. What is this world? Mind. Without the mind, senses are not. Without the senses, objects cannot be perceived. Without the objects perceived, is there a world? So what is world? Mind. Mana eva jagat. Mind alone. So the world outside is none other than gross form of the mind. Atra sukshmasya manasaha sthula roopam jagat. The inner mind is sukshma. Outer mind is sthulam. Inner mind is we know as thought. Outer mind is world. Both badhiya. Subtle form of the mind is what we know as thoughts. Grosser form of the mind is what we know as the world. Sthula sukshmayoho swastha abeda siddhayoho jagan manasoho tadatmya sambandha grahya. The connection between these two are beautiful. Sthula sukshmayoho, between the subtle mind and the gross world. Swastha abeda siddhayoho. Jagan manasoho, the world and the mind. Tadatmya sambandha. Mutual identification. Not mutual. Identification. As long as the mind is identified with the sense organs identified with the sense object, there is world. Ekasmad eva karanabhutat vastunaha anayoho janmadi siddhehe tat uttara shloke pratipādayati. Then where the world starts, that will be spoken a little later. Now one will say, Swamiji, this is understandable, but do you mean to say when you withdraw from this world, the world disappears? How? Vyashtigadam samashtigadam cha manaha tattvam uddishya manomayam bhuvanam ityuktam. We have to understand Vyashti and Samashti. Vyashti means individual, Samashti means collective. So when a person X, when he withdraws his attention from the world by withdrawing the senses and senses withdrawn into the mind, etc., when the world, as far as he is concerned, is no more. Vyashtehe devadasya manasi nashte tasya manasam bhuvanam nashtam bhavati natu yajnadattasya samashti bhudehi ishwarasya va. If Devadatta is a person and he withdraws the mind from the world, as far as he is concerned, the world is no more. But Yajnadatta, who is still not withdrawn, for him the world continues, isn't it? So you mean to say, when I withdraw my attention from the world, the entire world will disappear? No. See, here is where we should understand this Samashti and Vyashti Rupatvam. Guruji also writes in his commentary, as it is true from an individual standpoint, the world disappears when the individual withdraws the senses into the mind. In the same way, the total mind and total world, the Virata Rupa Jagat, is merged into the total mind. And the total mind is functioning now. Well, what is a total mind? A total mind is none other than that which is functioning with each one of our mind. The total mind is not another entity. There is another entity called total mind sitting there. No. As he writes, Guruji also writes here, the last paragraph in the verse, page number 23, as you see here, we are not ready to believe that sun, moon, star, mountain, river, etc. are only in my mind and have no existence apart from it. We usually ask what happens to them when one goes to sleep. Do they disappear? To explain this, Vedanta postulates the concept of total mind or Ishvara. The cosmos, Ishvara Shrishti, is the projection of the total mind, and one's own individual likes and dislikes, etc. is called Jiva Shrishti, or one's projection. The fact, however, remains that the world as a projection of the mind, whether individual or total. In the other words, the world is thought and modifications. Total thought, total mind modifies into total world. Individual mind modifies into individual world. Now the point is, so that means to say, Swamiji, even if I withdraw from this world continues to exist for others, correct or not? Yes. But the thing is, who is seeking freedom here? Now, do you mean to say, Swamiji, unless all jivas get mukti, I'm not going to take it. Hare Baba, then in that case, forever you will be there only. मोक्ष किसके लिए? और मोक्ष इज फ्रॉम व्हाट? किससे मोक्ष आपको होना चाहिए? What is that freedom you are seeking? You mean to say sun, moon, stars, everything should disappear for everybody? Then only moksha. Now, when you go to sleep, you wait for everybody to sleep. Let the whole world sleep. And then I will go to sleep. Because I'm very democratic, I am part of NATO also. Everybody should be going to sleep. Then only I will go to sleep. मोक्ष किसके लिए भाई? You don't even say, until my son gets moksha, I will not get moksha. Each one of you has come as individual souls. Your son or your daughter, your husband, your wife, your grandfather, your grandmother, your father, your mother, every one of them, mine, only here now. Before their birth, who are they? What connection you had? Now, this is not a selfish endeavor. Please do not understand that way. Moksha, liberation is to be, you have to do a prayatna for your own liberation. And that when you obtain, you realize that everybody has got an opportunity to do that until they wish it. You cannot do anything about it. If somebody is hungry, you eat. Or if somebody eats, therefore your hunger is gone. So when I withdraw from the sense objects, my sense organs, and sense organs into my mind, I realize that my problem, my bondage in this world is overcome. And it is my choice. If you are waiting for the whole world to disappear, it is like waiting for the waves to subside before you jump into the water to swim in the ocean. You will be waiting forever only. Please understand, total mind is working through total sense organs to experience the total world. Again, the total mind, even though named as Ishvara, but it's not one particular being. It's not one entity. It's a collective consciousness. We are all together constitute the total mind. My mind, your mind, and everybody's mind. See, in this world also, the world is being sustained by, Bhagavan Sri Krishna very beautifully says in Gita, chapter 7, Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu kammano buddhirevacha hankara yidiyam me binna prakrtirashtata apareyamidaswanyam prakritim vitti me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yaya idam daryate jagat. This world is sustained by jivas. The book that is there in front of me, kept on the table, does not know that it is sitting on a table. Because table as well as the book, both are inert. Neither table can help the book, nor the book can help the table, because they do not have independent ability to know their own being. Whereas you and I, Jiva Buddhas, we are capable of not only taking care of ourselves, but also we are, by working in this world, doing what we are doing, we are sustaining the entire inert world. I do what I do, you do what you do, everybody does what they do, they are all doing, and because everybody is engaged in the world is maintained. It's continuing to be. Gurudev used to say that even a lonely flower in a deep forest need not have to worry, how will I pollinate? A bee will come, whether it likes it or not. He does not need to invite anybody. He need not have to send a request form. The bee will come, take from in its own leg or feet the makaranda, and then go there and done. Pollination is done. Hora! It happens. Who cultivates the fruits in a forest? Do you think somebody is going there and watering it? Every living being responsible for the entire creation. Total mind is working. So moksha, when we are talking about moksha, it is an individual's responsibility, and because the individual knows that I alone am responsible for my liberation, and I am alone are bound by the world which I come to have identified with in my own mind through the senses with the objects. It is me alone, by withdrawing the senses from the object, withdrawing the senses into the mind, I alone can be responsible for my liberation. Nobody else. So, avyaktan mahataha ahankaraha tasmat pancha tadmatrani tebhyah idam jagat iti avastha bheda bahulam sankocha vikasakramam purvaihi uktam iha smarayamah. Upanishad talks about the creation of this entire universe takes place because of the vikasa krama. Vikasa krama means what? From the Brahman aspect of Maya, the avyakta, from avyakta starts the ahankarat mahat tattva to tanmatras, from the tanmatras, the panchikrita mahabhutas, and then the whole creation. That is the Vedantic explanation on creation. And then Sankocha means contraction. How does it go back to the source? From the Panchabhutas, it goes back to Tanmatras, original five Bhutas. From there, it goes to Ahankar, Mahat. From Mahat, it goes to Ahankar. From Ahankar, it goes to Avyakta. From Avyakta, it goes to Avyakta Maya, it goes to Brahman. That is called cessation of the world or pralaya. This is explained in the Upanishads. So he remembers that and saying that, yes, that is true with respect to the so-called external world is concerned. But here we must understand the suffering of the individual is not because of the external world. Suffering is created because of the world that he comes to experience through the mind with the help of the senses about the world of objects. So we have understood that mind is the reason for the experience of this world. All right. Now, further continuing here, next verse, verse number 9. Diya sahodedi diyastameti lokastatoti prabhivasya eshaha diloga janma kshayadhama purna sadvastu janma kshayashunyamekam diya sahodeti diyastameti lokastato di pravibhasya esha diloga janma kshayadama purna sadvastu janma kshayashunyamekam. Now, having explained that indriyanam adhinatvat indriya vishayaha mana adhinaha indriyani. These sense organs are depending upon the mind, sense objects are depending upon the sense organs. Mind is depending on what? What is mind? We have seen mind equal to the world which we experience. Without the mind, there is no world. What is mind? Thoughts. What is thought? Aham pravritti, aham di, ahankara vritti eva mana. Mind is none other than aham vritti, I. Without the I, there is no mind. So think of it, early morning when you wake up, before previous day you somehow forgot to eat your lunch or dinner. Something very seriously happened and then you were very busy and then you were tired, you went to sleep. Morning you wake up, first thought that comes is, I am hungry. Now the hunger is experienced by you when not in the sleep. The moment you wake up, moment you identify with the physical body, that very moment, I'm hungry. The hunger is there only when you wake up to the body. What wakes up to the body? I thought. Aham. Main. Aham vritti. So the moment diya means esha lokaha diya saha udeti. With the thought of I, diya saha, esha lokaha, this world starts. And when the I thought is no more, diya saha astama eti. It also settles down the moment I thought is no more. When you are tired at the end of the day, when you sleep, you are not consciously rejecting the world, do you? I don't want to see anything. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to smell anything. No. Do you do that every day? No. Are you rejecting the world out of, anger? No more I want to see anything. No more I want to. No. Let me lie down. And without you even being aware of it, the world has disappeared. How I thought has stopped. Identification, merged. Without your any effort. When the I thought wakes up, the world. When I thought is no more, no world. Now, he has come to that point. See that from the sense objects which makes the world, sense organ is the cause of the world experience. Sense organs are because of the mind. Mind is because of the ahamvritti. So what? Tell me. Ahamvritti eva jagat. There is no shortcut here. Straight. Diya saha udeti, diya astameti lokaha. So, esha loka di prabhivasya. Prabhivasya. Di prabhivasya. Aham vritti prabhivasya. Esha loka. This world is none other than continuously illumined by aham vritti. I. When the ego is present, aham vritti is present, the world is present. They're called world and are all coexisting. A is there, B is there. A is not there, B is not there. Then what is called? A is equal to B. Aham vrittireva jagat. So instead of fighting with the world outside, all that you have to do to free yourself is what? इसको छोड़ दो. किसको? अहम वृत्ति को छोड़ दो. अरे स्वामी जी, इज easy to say. इसका नाम है संन्यास. It's made it very simple. Sannyasa made simple. क्या करना है? What is to be done? अहम वृत्ति त्यागः. This I thought has to be given up. That is all. Then the so-called bondage that you have with the world, one by one, I want to get out of it. Never possible. How long you will work? I want to get rid of attachment to that, attachment to this, attachment to that, hatred towards that, jealousy towards this, greedy about this. How long you do? By the time you finish one thing, two more have come already. By the time you give up attachment to one thing, two more attachment has started. By the time you get married with the first son, second son is ready, second boy is ready. By the time you get the second boy ready, two boys, both the boys are married and gone. By the time the first one has got grandchildren. Your grandchildren. Chor. Pakad. Again. Yeah. Samsar hai, मैं बताऊं. And if all the children are gone, they are all married and they are in another part of the country, you won't keep quiet. Dog, cat, some people snakes, endless. One lady came to me and told, Swamiji, for 10 years I have not been to India at all. Why? Dog. Prarabdha hai. Who asked you to keep it? And now cry. You are creating your own bondage. A peculiar is human mind. By the time you get rid of one, you already gathered another 10 of them. Swamiji, I have decided to give up all my saris. Yeah. 2 cupboard full of saris donated. Very good. And then I'm going to India to buy more new ones. Because I don't have space. I'm getting rid of 2 cupboard full of saris only to get new, fresh stock. aham vritti shunyam. That is what is called moksha swarupam. So here, diya saha udeti, diya astameti, ahankara vritti saha udeti jagat. Ahankara vritti saha astamam eti. Lokaha esha. Tataha, therefore, diprabhavasya esha lokaha. Now the question is, how am I going to leave this aham vritti? Lokaha jagat diya saha sarvasa manovrittina moola vrittya aham diya saha udeti udgacchati diya saha aham diya vritti rupaya saha astamedi adarshanam gacchati tataha tasmadeva lokaha idam jagat idi व्यवहार सिद्धः दी प्रविभास्यः अहम मूलक दीवृत्तिः एव प्रकाश्यः भवति इति सिद्धान्ति कुर्मः विषयभूत दिह चित् रूपत्वात् भासकत्वं विषयभूतलोकस्य भास्यत्वं च स्पष्टं भवति सर्वस्यापि जगतः मनोमयत्व निरूपणेन सूक्ष्मरूपद्रीवृत्तेः स्थूलकारत्वेन जगतः प्रतिपादनात् हि वृत्तौ दीवृत्तौ स्वमूले आश्रये उपसंहृतानां वृत्तिविषय अवान्तरबाह्यौ दीलोकौ तुल्यः उदय अस्तमयोः सदेकमूलावेव भवतः इति उत्तरार्धेन दृढयति. Now you see, and the other day also I was explaining this point in the Amritabindu Upanishad. When we go to the state of deep sleep, aham vritti disappears. But where it disappears is a question. The disappearance of aham in the sleep is into avidya. The Anandamaya Kosha, which is of the nature of vasanas, this Vasanamaya Kosha or Anandamaya Kosha is present, fully, actively present in the state of sleep, in the sense the individual aham vritti is merging into the cause of its existence. The two things that we need to understand, one is called karanam, another is called ashraya. Aham vrittehe karanam avidya. The cause of the I thought is ignorance. Meaning, as you know, ignorance has got avidya has got two powers. Maya has got two powers. Avarana and vikshepa. Covering and projection. In the state of waking where we are right now, avarana has taken place already, meaning I have no clear awareness about my own self, leading to vikshepa, projection of the concept or notion of I with respect to all other things, body, prana, mind, buddhi, everything. This is vikshepa. And because of which I am functioning in this world as an individual. In the state of sleep, this vikshepa is no more. I am not identifying with my body or the prana or the mind or the intellect. But then where the aham vritti, where should it identify with? What should it identify with? It has nothing to identify with. So what does it do? It merges into its cause, avidya. That is the reason why when you wake up in the morning, you have no idea about what happened. Aham kimapi na janami. I don't know Why? Because avidya is there. It is gone back to avidya. It is like when you are looking at the snake instead of the rope, the cause of the snake is what? Rope. Rope is not the cause for the snake. Cause of the snake is your misunderstanding, your conclusion, your wrong conclusion, your absence of inquiry. How can there be a snake right in the middle of this place? You are not asking that question. क्यों है ये सर्प? कहां से आए ये सर्प? Where does this come from? That inquiry is not there. You are just looking at the snake. Oh my God, it's a snake. No, विचार करो कहां से आया, कब आ सकता है, कैसा आ सकता है? How is this snake can be possible? So when this vicharahinatvam, avidya is that which does not want you to inquire it. So when the absence of inquiry, the snake appearance will continue, and in the same way, in the state of sleep, we are not engaging any vichara. We are not questioning anything, and we have no input from anyone to ask the question. What to ask? So in the state of sleep, the ahamvritti goes to avidya. Just like in the case of a snake, cause of the snake appearance is due to ignorance of your inquiry, vivek shakti, but the ashraya for that snake is rope. Without the rope, there cannot be snake. But rope is not the cause for the snake. Support is not the cause. Just like when a person takes up his flashlight and puts it on that and finds out, is there really a snake? When he inquires, that snake thereafter disappears into ashraya. Once you know that it is rope, it's no more a snake, it is merged into the ashraya, the support. Once a support is known, no more there can be any more appearance of that snake. In the same way, when the Shravana Jnanam takes place, what is the Shravana Jnanam? Understand, oh my dear Jiva, your support is Brahman. And because the support is forgotten, you have taken avidya as the support by mistake. Beating up the rope will not make the snake disappear. Inquiry into the reality of the snake alone will make you understand the rope. Similarly, inquiry into the reality of the jivatvam alone can reveal you the brahmatattva, tattvajnana. So once the tattvajnanam is understood as the very cause of this so-called misunderstanding, not the cause, the support of this misunderstanding caused by the avidya, that's what is coming to that. Diloga janma kshayadama purna sadvastu janma kshayashunyamekam. Diloga janma kshayadama. Diloga janma kshayadama. Meaning, diya aham diyaha lokasya jagataha janmanaha utpattehe kshayasya vilayasya cha dama moolam sthanam purnam abhinna abinnam avaditva abinnam abaditvat sukshma stula veda abhavabhyam dilokabhyam janma kshaya shunyam janmana kshayena cha shunyam varjidam sadvastu utpatti pralayavataha dhir lokayoho karana samagritvena सामग्रीत्वेन प्रतिपादितं स्वयं उत्पत्ति प्रलय विवर्जितम् एकं जीवादि अनेक आकार व्यवहारस्य मूलत्वे अपि एकमेव भवति इति वाक्यशेषः. In other words, धीवृत्तेः आश्रयः आत्मा एकः जन्म क्षय वर्जितः एकं पूर्णम् इति अवगम्यते. The birthplace of this the aham vritti, what is it supporting it? What is that which is supporting it here? That very support is understood to be Paramatma, the self. So that Paramatma, the self, because of which the Divritti seems to be able to remain, and the Aham Vritti is the cause for the mind. The mind is the cause for the sense organs to act. Sense organs are the cause for the illumination of the sense objects, and thereby the world is experienced. So, that's why in Kathopanishad beautifully said, Yena rupam rasam gandham shabdhan sparshanscha maitunan ete naiva vijanadi kimatra parishishyate. What else is there? Yena, by which rupam rasam gandham sparshanscha maitunan vijanati. One who is able to see, hear, taste, smell, touch, all the things are possible because of whose presence. Without whom, what else is there? Sarvatra ashraya, sarvasya ashraya. We'll see more of this in the next session. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Any questions anybody has?
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om.
So, if all attachments, supposing all attachments